Hi, I'm Tom, and this is the third part in the do-it-yourself packaging series that I'm putting together with the relaunch of ACD Sleeve in 2026. So this video is about print and cardboard predominantly. So print is a bit of a minefield. I got incredibly lucky when I was setting up to use a local printer who would happily do short runs of print, and I was using them from pretty much day one up until 8 years later. So if you're watching this, Ant, thanks for everything. I couldn't have done it without you. And I was able to print all sorts of board there and really accommodating, but like I said, it is luck of the draw with what's on your doorstep if you're doing short runs. So you want to ideally be going for 350 GSM card, which in itself is a bit of a minefield. So GSM is the weight of card over a square meter, the grams per square meter, and it kind of doesn't tell you anything about the card other than the weight. I have two samples of a 350 GSM white and a 350 GSM craft, and they both have different thicknesses. So that is an issue for me as a structural designer because I work in micron now. I always used to work in GSM the first time I ran ACD Sleeve, but learning about structural packaging design, you understand that it's the micron that you need to work to, which is where a micrometer is really important for me. So the white is coming out at 430 micron, and the brown at 505 micron, and that can make quite a big difference in the way that a card reacts when it's folded and glued. So anything above 400 micron would do the job, but I think if you went to a local printer and asked for 350 GSM as a ballpark, I think that would be perfect because that was the threshold I was working to last time. All of these were printed in 350 GSM card. So I've picked out some sheets from first time round. Got this one for Doctrines on brown, and this is how it came out printed. So this is roughly how you're going to want your sheets to come out with the template lines visible. And this was printed on what I called natural card, which is just a very light brown craft. There's these sheets for the Pariso Kerouac split that were matte laminated. So that meant that, especially with the grey one, that when the print went over creases, it wouldn't crack, which is something that I'll get to because that is something that you need to bear in mind when designing your artwork. So they were two laminated cases that I hand cut. So again, you can see the marks where I needed to mark for scoring and the semicircle cut point. And then this one for Frontiera. So this was matte laminated, but this was at another local print shop that I used, who again were fantastic, Johnson's in Nantwich. So they printed these and then matte laminated them and cut crease them. So all I had to do was fold and glue them, and the quality was fantastic, and you didn't have the issues with possible print cracking. So you could go the lamination route. I am using uncoated board myself this time round because I want to avoid the use of plastic as much as I can. That's a reason why the pop-up CD case isn't coming back, so I don't want to use the vacuum formed hubs. But if you want to laminate your release, then that's completely up to you, but I'm really trying to avoid it this time round. Unless you have a heavy duty printer at home, I wouldn't recommend printing these yourself. If you have an inkjet printer, the issue with that is the print isn't water resistant and it's not smudge resistant, so sweaty hands at a show will rub the ink and it just won't look good with a lot of usage. If you're using these for another purpose, for an invite or for a personal project for college or sixth form or high school, then using an inkjet printer I think would do the job, where it doesn't matter so much if hands smudge the ink. I used to have a Canon Pixma IX6550. I printed out a production run mock-up for every job that I had here, just so I had reference of the jobs that were going on. It was great. It could print pretty thick board, it could print this board, and you could probably pick one up on eBay for £100 or so. I recently sold mine just for spares and repairs because I've been moving it from every location that I ran ACD sleeve. I had that printer and it's gone through multiple house moves and I just had to get rid of it. But it is a great printer if you're not looking to sell these or have people interact with them and touch them, because an inkjet printer just isn't suited for that purpose. So basically you want to find a local printer who can print A3 or SRA3 ideally. SRA3 you can just get a bit more print on the sheets. I myself would go with an uncoated board. I think it looks nicer, I think it feels nicer. The only issue is, like I said, is the print cracking over creases. Specifically on dark print areas. So there's ways around this. You can avoid having print on the creases. You could have lighter print on the creases. Or there's the fact that it's your release, and if you're happy with it, then that's up to you. Every time I had a job where I thought it would be an issue, I'd always let people know. I'd send them a photo of previous examples. Ideally, when you do find a printer, it would be good to find somewhere where you could at least get a test sheet so you can see how it creases, how it reacts, how it glues. There's going to be some places who just aren't interested in doing short runs of print, but I think you'll find some people who are accommodating and can hopefully see some potential in the work that you're bringing to them. I think that's everything covered for print and cardboard, and there's probably a lot more I could talk about grain direction and fibre tear, but that's even more boring than what I've already talked about. So if these have been of use, give the video a like, check out the other videos, the previous videos, and the videos which will actually show how the packaging is made. Thanks.